Hello, namaste. Welcome to yoga, this ancient practice of coming into our own presence right here, right now. In classical Hatha yoga, there are what are known as the 8 limbs. And the first 2 limbs are called the yamas and the niyamas in Sanskrit. And the yamas are the restraints or the don'ts of yoga, whereas the niyamas are the virtues or the do's. And it's a wonderful philosophy if you haven't yet studied it, but just a little piece of it here for us for our practice. One of the niyamas or virtues is called tapas. And tap in Sanskrit, the root means to give off heat, warmth, to shine or burn. Tapas. So what might that have to do with yoga? Why would that be a virtue? Isn't that a good question? Well, in yoga, tapas refers to the fiery heat of our hard work, the choice we make to come to our mats, to face the unknown, to take some risks, to find our way into some challenging positions. Sometimes that's effort that literally brings on heat or a sweat. Other times it's more mental or emotional, right? To get into a challenging position and stay and stay and breathe and stay. You know, obviously, if there's literal pain, if there's a sharp pain, we get out. That's not any place we want to stay. If we lose our breath, if our breath becomes a little ragged, we're overworking, we back off. We know when to use certain props in different poses because of how our body needs to be aligned. So it's not like we're just constantly pushing, we're listening and being wise. And when we find ourselves in our way into one of those well-aligned, oh, the muscles are starting to ache, or the stretch is very deep, or wow, this is really challenging to stay with this heat, with this effort. The invitation within that heat, within that effort, is to quiet and steady and come into presence and stay and breathe, right? Those are the places where real change happens, at those edges. So the invitation for this practice is to play with that. It will be an intermediate flow practice, which means a lot of it will be accessible and some of it will be more challenging, and everyone is welcome, so long as you listen to yourself and take good care and maybe play with some of those edges that you find, if you find some of them here. I do think for this practice, it'd be good to have 2 blocks. And if you don't have yoga blocks, you might get like thick hardback or even paperback book, something solid and steady so you can put some weight on it, lift the floor, right? But it can hold you steady. And for this practice, I'd also like you to have a yoga strap or something like a yoga strap because you may or may not need that for sure, but I'd like you to have it just in case. And as always, something to sit on. To lift the sit bones up a little bit off the mat, give a little bit of height so we can draw the sacrum in underneath, really align the spine. So find your goodies if you would, if you don't have them already. Take a comfortable seat. Let yourself just start to settle. And then as you're ready, allowing the eyes to close. If you're not comfortable closing your eyes, you can go ahead and just soften and lower the gaze. And just make that sweet turn into your own being, your own body right here, right now. Take a nice deep breath, fill the body. And on the exhale, allow the shoulders to drop down. And with that dropping down, see if you can feel your sit bones rooting down. Allow the thighs to be heavy, the ankles and the feet to relax. And then grow the spine long from there. And you might tilt a little bit forward or back just to make sure you've got that vertical plumb line. all the way up through the spine, the neck, through the skull to the top of the head. And just allow the eyes to be soft in their sockets. See if you can widen and spread the space between the eyebrows, smoothing out along the brows, out to the temples, maybe even out to the ears, allowing the ears to be spacious and open, relaxing the lips. Really let the tongue be passive on the bed of the mouth, so the tip of it's not touching the teeth and the sides of it are not touching the gums. See if you can just let it shrink and rest. And then just bringing your inner gaze to the breath. Where do you notice the breath in your body in this moment? Noticing the length of the inhale and the length of the exhale. One might be longer than the other or smoother. Just notice. And then noticing as you breathe, if you feel even on the right and the left sides of the body, or does one side feel more active, more open than the other? Again, no judgment, just noticing. And then bring your awareness to your belly. And see if you can allow the belly to be soft enough that on the inhale, the diaphragm can move down into the abdomen. And on the exhale, it can come back up. Soft breath moving in and out of the body. Soft eyes and mind watching the breath. And soft heart being right here. And staying quiet, staying steady, and just lift the palms and join them. Move them into the center of the chest. Take an inhale, filling up. And on the exhale, slowly bowing the head down, down to the wisdom of the heart. And on your next inhale, slowly bringing the head back up, releasing the hands down to the thighs, and slowly opening the eyes. Thank you. So we're going to start standing, and we're going to bring our strap. So come to standing. You can face the long way or the short way on the mat, whatever works for you. Feet a little bit wider than hip distance and parallel. We're going to open our strap, or whatever you have that's like a strap. We're going to start by holding it really long, just a little softness in the knees. We're going to floss our shoulders. We're going to go slowly. So on an inhale, reach the arms up overhead, draw the tailbone down. And on an exhale, start to bring the hands back, go slowly. And when you find that crunchy tight spot, just stay there for a moment and breathe. And then move through that slowly and slowly bring the hands all the way back down. Inhale again, coming up through that probably a tight spot, stay there. See if you can keep the elbows straight. Bringing the strap up and over. And then exhale, bringing the strap all the way down. So if that was really hard, you want to give yourself a little bit more length. If you felt like you could actually use a little bit more resistance, you can walk the hands a little bit, in a little bit. Let's do that a couple times on the breath. So inhale, reaching up, tall, tailbone down. Exhale, slowly through that tight spot, wrists stay extended. Inhale, back through that spot. Open the chest up. Exhale, slowly down. Let's do 2 more. Inhale, reach, open, lift, drop the tailbone. Exhale, arms go back, wrists extended, heart open. Inhale, reaching up, over slow. Exhale, all the way down. 1 more. Inhale, reach. You might look up. Exhale, open the heart, reach back, draw the tailbone down. Inhale, up and over, go slowly. And then exhale, bring the strap down. Really nice. Okay, let's have our 2 blocks or block-like objects. We're going to set one right here at the end of the mat, a long way, in case we need it. You may or may not. Try it right in the center, like the medium height. We're going to come down on our back, bend the knees, and just let the feet rest for a moment. And then we're going to take our block the long, low way. We're going to press our feet down and just place the block so it's right under the sacrum. And then we're going to bend the left knee in. Hug it with your left hand. Make sure your sacrum is snug on the block. Now we're going to extend the right leg straight up. So not forward, not back, straight up if you can. And see if you can find this natural curve of the back. So we're not overarching. We're not flattening the sacrum, natural curve. You might reach your arm out to the side. Engage the core, and then slowly you're going to lower that right leg down without changing the curve of the back. So you're going to go really slowly because we're going to try to move into this psoas hip flexor area. And the minute it starts to pull, it's going to pull our back into an arch. And we want to keep the belly engaged so that as we come down, we have that block there in case we need it, because that might be plenty of stretch right through the front of this hip flexor. Keep drawing the belly down. Or for those of you who want a little bit more, you're going to let the heel come down to the floor. All of us need to work on drawing the belly in. If you want a little bit more than that, even, you'll reach the right arm straight overhead and lengthen through that whole right side body. And then you might firm that right glute in and draw it down. And just be here and breathe. Right? This might be one of the first moments of tapas in this practice, depending on your body. Keep drawing the belly in and keep drawing the tailbone long. If you've got the arm extended, bring it back. Let's just bend that right leg, bend the left leg, and take a moment here in constructive rest on the block and just see if you notice any difference right to left in your body. Now have your block set for yourself again at the end of the mat in case you're going to need it. We're going to hug the right knee in with the right hand. Again, find that natural curve of the lower back. Firm the belly in, extend that left leg straight up, flex the foot, engage the belly. And now slowly starting to extend that left leg straight out. Stop when you need to. You might actually want to go near a wall if you want to stop much before that block. Where you come down, maybe you find the block and stay there. Some of you are going to keep letting that heel move towards the floor, but can you draw the belly down? Lengthen your tailbone towards your heels. Keep that natural curve of the back. It takes effort here in the belly, right, to not let that back arch. If you want a little bit more, extending that left arm straight overhead, find that long Tadasana line through the left side of the body. And if you want even more, engage that left glute, draw it down. Breathe and stay. Observe. One more breath. If you've got the arm up, just bring it back down. Bend the left leg, bend the right knee down. Press the feet, lift the hips off the block. Bring your sacrum down and just take a couple breaths here in constructive rest, noticing whatever you notice. And then we're just going to let the knees gently come over to the right. Press your left palm down, gently come up. Let's move our blocks towards the front of the mat. And we're gonna come and we're gonna sit in Dandasana, our staff pose. So let's sit the long way with the feet towards the front of the mat. And again, we really wanna be able to draw the sacrum in. So if your tight hamstrings are pulling your body so you're like this, I'd like you to sit on a blanket, or you can sit on your block, just to give ourselves a little bit of height so we can draw the back of the pelvis in. Now we're gonna reach around, our hands behind. We're gonna turn our fingertips back, reaching through both straight, strong legs. And I would like you to lift the heart, draw the shoulder blades on the back. Draw the elbows a little bit bent towards each other. Lift the sternum, lift the heart, the belly's engaged. Nice, just come to a straight spine. We're gonna reach the arms out to the side and then reach them up overhead. See if you can find that long line through the whole spine, rooting down through the sit bones, using your arms to draw length to the left and the right side. Look up, hug the elbows in, hug the outer arms in, the outer legs in. Take an inhale here, and then you're gonna reach your hands around behind. Now you're gonna place your fingertips towards your tush, about 6 inches away, flat palm. Bend the knees, press your weight in your hands, spread the fingers, press your weight in the feet. And then an inhale, you're gonna slowly start to lift the hips up. This might be your Purvottanasana. The hips might come up a little bit more, a little bit more. Keep the gaze forward at first. Can you press through the index finger and thumb up through the inner shoulder to lift the shoulders? Stand on your feet. If it's okay on your neck now, you might look up, or you might even let the head come a little bit back. Lift the hips, engage the glutes. One more breath. And then slowly bring the hips down. Really nice. Let's come off whatever we're sitting on. We'll move it to the side. We're gonna bring one of our blocks towards the front of the mat. And we're gonna place an elbow towards the outside of the edge of the block. Bring your palms together. And then you're gonna walk your knees back. Give yourself a generous distance. And then slowly start to bring your head down between the arms. Maybe the head draws towards the mat. Maybe you take those joined palms and start to bend the elbows and draw them towards the back of the neck, the upper back. Can you engage the belly a little bit? So you're not dumping in your lower back, but you're letting the heart sink, melt down through the gate of the shoulders. Some of you might actually bring the front of the forehead down. It's a little bit more space for the heart to come through. Hug the outer arms in, the elbows in. Smooth, deep, even breaths in and out through the nose. One more breath here. And then we're going to press down through the elbows, bring the head back up through, walk the knees in, and come off the block. Set it aside, and let's find our all fours. So wrist creases under the shoulders, knees hips distance under the knees. Now really spread your fingers. See if you can get your wrist creases parallel with the front of the mat. For most of us, it means we have to turn our hands out a little bit. And then on an inhale, start to bring the chest forward. Let the groins go back, coming into cow. And on an exhale, press the hands, coil the navel into the spine. Big cat back. Inhale, slowly coming forward. Open the heart, the front of the body. And then exhale, pressing, drawing the belly in, rounding, opening the back of the body. 2 more on your own. Take your time. Let the breath guide you. No rush. Slowly, steadily finding the body, letting it start to open, maybe starting to get a little bit warm. And then coming back to a neutral tabletop. So we're going to walk the left hand in about 1 inch and a little bit forward of the shoulder. On an inhale, open up to the right, reach up. And on an exhale, thread that hand through the hand and the knee and bring the side of your head down on the mat. Place tentative fingers right in front of your eyes off the mat. And adjust your head a little bit so you can bear a little bit of weight on your neck. Stay right here, or you're going to inhale that left arm straight up, internally rotate, reach around, and just play with finding a bind. So it might be some of your shirt, might be some hip or some inner thigh. The leverage on the back of the right arm to gently twist. Breathe. And then if you're bound, inhale that left arm straight up. Exhale, flat palm down. Come back to all fours. Take a moment here right in the center. And then we're going to move that right hand in about an inch and a little bit forward of the shoulder. Press the palm as you inhale, reach the left arm up. And then exhale, thread that arm through. Come down on that outer shoulder, arm, back of the hand. And then take your tented right fingers right off the mat in front of your eyes. Already you can have a little bit of leverage as you find a way to steady some weight on your neck. Stay here or inhale that right arm straight up. Maybe internally rotate, reach around, and play with finding a bind. We've got a little bit of leverage. We're not forcing the twist. We're encouraging at the waist. Turn to the left and breathe. One more breath right here. And then inhale that right arm straight back up. Flat palm comes down. Come back to center. Get steady. Find your breath. And then we're going to walk the knees back a couple inches. Spread the hands. Spread the fingers. Really press through the index finger and thumb. Roll the outer tricep down. Elbows are super straight. So get organized here, pressing the hands into the mat, and then you're going to slowly lift the hips up and back. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. So sometimes it's nice just to come into dog and be still. Sometimes it's nice just to wiggle around, pedal the legs, find your way in. So make your choice. This might be your first Adho Mukha Svanasana of the day. So however you find your way in. And once you've wiggled around, find steadiness. So your gaze is back between your feet. The heels bow out slightly behind the ankles. The feet are hips distance. Pressing the upper thighs back, lengthening through the side body, pressing the hands forward and down, rolling the triceps down as you hug the outer arms in. Can you find that balance between the weight coming down in the hands and the weight going back in the feet? Maybe find some ease right here. And then on an inhale, we're going to glide forward, come into our plank pose. So you might need to shift the length of the stance a little bit. Press down through the big toe mound and the baby toe mound. The legs are super straight. Then draw the pose from underneath, under the belly, the heart. There's a slight protraction in the upper back. Elbows are straight. Belly's engaged. The gaze is slightly forward. You're welcome to come down on your knees or go back to dog at any time. Otherwise, stay here just a few more breaths. And slowly, hips go back and up, downward facing dog. On an inhale, glide forward, come right back into your plank. Bring your feet together at the back of the mat. We're going to draw the right hand in and then about an inch forward of the shoulder. You're welcome to bring the right knee down, or you're going to roll to the outside of that right foot and find your Vashisthasana, side plank. So really spread that bottom hand. Draw that right shoulder blade in behind the back. If you're on the knee, you want to work on bringing that top hip back. If you've got straight legs, you want to work on rolling that top hip forward. Maybe look up. One more breath. And then slowly bring that left hand down. You're just going to roll through center. Find your way to the other side. Knee down or straight legs. Open your wingspan. If you've got the straight legs, see if you can flex the feet. Draw the tailbone long, open the chest. Lift up, reach, maybe look up. One more breath, and then look down. Left hand comes down, you're back in plank. Shift an inch forward, so you're welcome to bring your knees down. You're gonna hug your elbows in and come halfway down to chaturanga. You're going to take 2 breaths here. Shoulders in line with elbows, no lower. And then slowly come all the way down. Ha-ha. And we're going to come up to Sphinx pose. So elbows are right under the shoulders. The arms are parallel. Can you press your inner wrist, thumb, index finger? Tone the belly slightly. Draw the tailbone back towards the heels. Bring the heart forward, like you're isometrically drawing the elbows back to lift the heart. Now stay right here. You're just going to cross your right forearm on the diagonal. Don't let the left knee swing out at all as you just bend that back knee. And then you're going to play with reaching around. Hand comes inside the big toe side. You might stay right here, right? This might be the opening in that left quad. If you're not quite feeling a stretch yet, you'll start to bring the foot towards you. You might spin the hand above overhead. Turn it forward. Lift the chest. Wherever you are, keep firming the belly in, drawing the tailbone long, and breathing. One more breath. And then can you release that leg back? Come back to your Sphinx, find center. And then you're going to cross your left forearm on a diagonal. Now keep that right knee right where it is in the track. It's not going to swing out. You're just going to bend that right leg. Reach around, hand comes inside to the big toe. So this might be plenty. Or you might start to draw that foot towards the back of your glute. You can spin your hands, turn it forward. But I want everyone, draw the belly in, lengthen the tailbone, lift the heart. One more breath right here. And then slowly let it go. We're coming back to our Sphinx. Then slowly bring the forehead down. So legs are super straight. Hug the outer ankles in. We're going to reach behind. Interlace the hands. Press the palms together if you can. Now bend the elbows. Draw the elbows towards each other on the back. Draw the tailbone long. Legs are super straight. On an inhale, first just lift the chest, Shalabhasana. I'm actively drawing my tailbone back towards my feet. If I can keep doing that and lift the feet, go ahead. You're welcome to add the feet. Long, lift, reach. One more breath here, and then let it go. Turn the head to the side. Palms come down. Just take a few breaths. Then bring the forehead back to center. Re-engage your legs. Interlace your fingers the other way, the weird way. Bend the elbows. Draw them towards each other. Tone the belly. Draw the tailbone long. And then inhale. Come on up, Shalabhasana. Maybe add the feet. So notice the strong legs reaching back and up. Give them support to lift the chest. One more breath. And then exhale, turn the head the other way. Back of the palms come down. Just rest for a few breaths. If you want to slightly wiggle your hips side to side. And then bring the forehead center. Flat palms by your lower ribs. Hug the elbows in. Same actions in the legs. Draw the tailbone long and then slowly come up. Cobra. So your cobra might be here. You might press a little bit. Bhujangasana coming up. Hug the elbows in. Shoulders come down. Take a breath. Slowly bring the body down. Set up the legs and the hands again. And then inhale, come up, cobra. Stay here, or continue pressing so you're on flat palms, just the tops of the feet. Lift the chest. The belly's still toned. I'm still drawing my tailbone long. Shoulders down. Upward facing dog. And then press the hands. Use your core to pick up the hips slowly. Downward facing dog. And then let's widen our feet as wide as the mat. Walk the hands in a couple inches so we've got a short, wide dog. So just find that for a moment. And then we're going to pick up the right hand, reach across, maybe outside the left ankle or heel. Stabilize the hips and just turn. Gentle twist. Might feel something in your hamstrings. Through the waist, breathe. Slowly bring the right hand back. You're in your short, wide dog. Find center. And then lifting the left hand, Reaching across outside the right ankle or heel, twisting at the waist, sending the hips back, opening the backs of the knees. And then bring that left hand back. Bring the feet back together towards hips distance, back in your short, regular distance dog. And then look forward. You're just going to walk one foot and then the other to the top of the mat, feet hips distance. Put a nice bend in the knees and reach your hands around behind and interlace the fingers again. Press the palms, bend the elbows, draw them towards each other. Maybe start to straighten and reach with those hands and arms. You're welcome to hold a strap between the hands if you need more space here to work with opening the heart in this angle. Opening the collarbones. And then just bring the hands back behind your lower back. Change the clasp the other way. You're welcome to straighten the legs here or keep the legs bent. Can you re-extend the arms? Elbows stay a little bit bent, opening the heart. Aiming the crown of the head down. The sit bones go up. And then slowly release the hands all the way down. Put a little bend in your knees. Draw your tailbone down. Curl your belly in and slowly start to roll up. One vertebrae at a time. Root down through the feet. Rise up through the crown. Haha, really nice. And then let's find our Tadasana. So big toes touch, heels are slightly apart. Hands come to heart center. If you feel like you need more room for your pelvis, you're welcome to separate the feet. So let your body tell you what it wants. Draw the tailbone down, shift the weight into your heels. Press your upper thighs back, relax the shoulders. And then on an inhale, root down through the feet as you reach up, Urdhva Hastasana. Straight arms right alongside the ears. How much length can you find between the earth and the sky with your body? If it's okay on your neck, maybe you start to look up. If it's okay on the shoulders, maybe the palms touch overhead. And take a nice big inhale here. And on an exhale, open your arms, leading with the heart. Slowly, swan dive all the way down, fold it in. Uttanasana. Take a breath here. Drift the weight towards the toes. Lengthen the spine. And then on an inhale, you're going to come halfway up, Ardha Uttanasana. So we'll take a few breaths here. Place your hands somewhere where you can really send the hips back. Send the crown of the head forward. Lengthen the spine. That's right, we're not rounding the spine. You want to come up enough that you can really get that long spine. Take an inhale here. And on an exhale, fold in, keeping that spine as long as you can. Inhale halfway up, Ardha Uttanasana. And then exhale, plant your hands shoulder distance, step back, find your plank pose. On an inhale, come forward, hug your elbows in, halfway down on the knees or straight legs. And then either come all the way down for cobra or just come over your toes, press the inner hand, upward facing dog. Exhale the hips up and back, downward facing dog. And then just land right here, find your breath. Next, exhale, bend the knees, look forward. You're going to step or lightly hop to the front of the mat, feet together. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Exhale, hands come down to heart center. Flow through a few A's together on the breath. Inhale, reach. Exhale, slow swan dive. Take the full breath all the way down. Inhale, long spine, halfway up. Exhale, plant your hands, step back, find plank. Come an inch forward, hug your elbows in just halfway down. Then all the way down for cobra or over the toes, upward facing dog. Press the hands, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Next, exhale, bend the knees, look forward, step or lightly hop to the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Exhale, hands come down to heart center. Keep it going. Inhale, reach. Exhale, leading with the heart all the way down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, find plank. Come forward, halfway down, chaturanga. Your choice, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale the hips up and back, downward facing dog. On an inhale, glide forward, find plank. We're going to bring the right knee down, keep the toes tucked. From your inner left thigh, lift the left leg back behind you. See if you can keep the hips as even as possible. When you get stable, add the right arm. First, find length. Hug the outer hips in, draw the belly in underneath. And you're going to bend the back leg, flex the foot. Let's just do a couple little lifts. See if you can keep the rest of the body quiet as you just lift that back leg up an inch or two. Now lift it, hold it, look up, reach around. See if you can find that foot and then just play with either working to catch the foot, opening the heart, a little bit of support underneath the belly, and then re-extend the leg, the arm, set that left toes down, right hand down, step back, you're back in plank. Left knee comes down right under the hip. Keep those right toes tucked for a moment. Support the body from underneath and then lift that right leg just so that it's even with the rest of your body. See if you can keep that right hip from coming up too much. And then when you're ready, go ahead and add the left arm. Find length. Support the pose from underneath. Reach. Then bend that right knee. See if you can keep the rest of the body quiet. It's just these little lifts. We're isolating that hamstring. And then hold the knee up. Look up. Reach around. See what you can find. Just try. It's there somewhere. We find it one day. We just keep practicing. Open the heart. And then re-extend the arm, the leg. Back toes come down. Left hand comes down. Step back, you're back in plank. Lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Bring the feet together at the back of the mat. From the inner right thigh, inhale the right leg back behind you, three-legged dog. Now really see if you can even the weight left to right in your hands. Both arms straight, both legs straight. See if you can keep the hips even, almost like you're scissoring the inner thighs together. Now you're going to play, if you want, bend that back knee just like we did. Can you shift the weight in the right hand and play with picking up the left, reaching back, maybe finding a foot, maybe finding air. We're just playing, see what's there. And then re-extending the leg, bring the hand down. Inhale here, find length. And then exhale, come forward, knee to nose, big cat back. Inhale it back, three-legged dog. Exhale, come forward, right knee outside, right elbow, big cat back. Inhale it back, three-legged dog. And then slowly bring the leg all the way through to the front of the mat. Take as many steps as you need. Find your long lunge. You want to give yourself enough space that this heel comes all the way up in front of this knee. Firm the right hip back and in. Really stand on that front heel and feel the connection from the heel up into the knee, and then that energy sending back into the right hip joint. Lengthen your spine. Reach back through the back heel. Find your breath. Now we're slowly going to bring that left knee down. We're not going to move it back this time, but please feel free to pat it. Keep your hips coming forward as you inhale, coming up, Anjaneyasana. So first, we're just letting the hips come forward, drawing the tailbone down, lifting the belly. Then we're going to open the arms to the side. Take an inhale here. And then we're going to bring the left arm under to find our eagle arms, Garudasana. One or two wraps with the hands. Can you drop the shoulders down? Lift the elbows. Firm the belly in. Maybe start to lift the heart, right? Draw the tailbone long. We're pressing into the back foot, maybe lifting the hands. We're finding a little bit of a back bend. Nothing too extreme. Take a breath here and then slowly come back with the torso upright. Release the hands. Inhale, reach all the way up, palms touch. Exhale, hands come down through heart center, inside the front foot, and then move your right foot to the right. Find one of your blocks, place it any height inside that front foot, and then we're gonna come down on our forearms into this lizard, right? It's this juicy hip opener. You can have the block high, you can take the block away entirely if you have more openness in your hips, but stand on all four corners of that right front foot. Hug that right knee in, let the hips descend. Find your breath. So for some people, this actually is a bit of a resting pose. For other people, this is a moment of tapas, right? So just see what's here for you and send breath throughout the pose. See where you can let go, even as you steady and hold. Okay, we're gonna slowly come off the block, move it to the side, and then you're gonna place your left hand a little bit forward of your shoulder and a little bit outside. Bend the back knee. You're gonna reach around, look towards your back foot, see if you can find it. You're welcome to lasso the foot with a strap if you can't quite reach it. So stay right here, or again, you might start bringing that foot in. We're all different. Can you draw the belly in and then lean back, lift your heart a little bit? So we're not exaggerating a back bend. We're just opening through the heart with some tone in the belly as we stretch the quad. Breathe and be right here. One more breath. And then slowly release the back foot. Hands come down to frame the front foot. Straighten your left leg. Get that weight right in that front heel. Firm that right hip back and in. And when you get steady, come on up, find your crescent lunge. So we'll just be here for a few breaths, right? We've already got that tired leg. Really bend the front knee. Really draw the outer hip back, the left hip forward. Lift the lower belly. Lift the heart. Maybe lift the whole front body. If your balance allows, look up. Maybe the palms touch overhead. Take a nice big inhale, and then exhale, let it go. Hands come down to heart center. Plant your hands, step back, find plank. Come forward, elbows in, halfway down. Your choice, cobra or upward facing dog. Lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Just see what's here. Notice the sides of your body, the arms, the feet, the hips. And then bring the feet together at the back of the mat. And from the inner left side, inhale the left leg slowly back behind. So get steady on the two hands, right to left. Hug your outer arms in. Super straight arms. Can you hug the outer hips in? Find steadiness. And then you might play with bending that back knee from that left outer arm in as you reach around. Maybe play with finding that foot. Some days are shakier than others, as we all know. So just see what's happening here today. Let your focus stay steady. One more breath. Straighten that back leg, reach the right hand down. Inhale here, get even longer. And then exhale, come forward, knee to nose. Inhale back, three-legged dog. Exhale, left knee outside left elbow. Inhale it back, three-legged dog. And then exhale, come all the way down the center, long lunge on the fingertips. Weight in that front heel. Enough distance between the feet that the hips can really come down. Draw this left hip back and in to keep the left side of the torso long. Crown of the head reaches forward. Back heel reaches back. And then we're slowly going to bring that back knee down. Just leave it right there, but pat it if you need. Keep the hips coming forward as you inhale, coming up, Anjaneyasana. Landing right here, tailbone drawing down. Lower belly lifting up. Now we're going to reach the arms out to the side. Take an inhale here. Then you're going to bring your right arm under, find your Garuda arms. Eagle. So we're hugging the midline with our hips. We're drawing the outer shoulders in. We're lifting the elbows, dropping the shoulders. Now, can you tone the belly? Draw the tailbone down. Just start to lift the heart. It's nothing extreme. We don't want to dump in our sacrum. So can you stay light in the upper body? You're lifting up and over. Pressing to that back big toe mound to steady. Maybe open your throat, take a breath, and then slowly coming back up to center. Inhale here, release the hands down. Inhale, reach up, palms touch. Exhale, hands come down through heart center inside that left foot, and then move the left foot a bunch to the left. Make a choice about the height of your block inside. Set it up so that you can come down on your forearms. Let the hips sink. Keep firming that left knee in, and then just be here and breathe. Sending breath through the whole pose. Maybe letting awareness spread through the pose. And notice if you're really curling in your spine, see if you can unfurl a little bit, lift the heart and lengthen. Breathe. One more breath right here. And then we're going to come off the block. And you're going to place your right hand a little bit forward of your shoulder and a little bit outside. So you can lean into it, look back, bend that back knee, reach around. You might use your strap to lasso your foot. You might find the foot. Stay right here. You've got a little bit more space in that quad. You can start to bring the foot in, but don't force anything. And then see if you can press down through the right hand. Lift the heart, nothing extreme. We're just drawing the shoulder blades on the back. Maybe leaning back a little bit, lifting the heart. It's more energetic than physical. See if you can find opening, spaciousness, something right here in the midst of the tapas. One more breath. And then let that back foot go. Hands come to frame the front foot. Straighten the back leg. Get steady on your feet. The weight's in that front heel. And then inhale, come on up, find your crescent. So we're bending in the front knee. Working on straightening the back leg as much as we can. Drawing that left hip back, right hip forward. Lifting the belly. Maybe lifting the heart. Maybe lifting under the front of our arms as we look up past our fingertips. Palms touch overhead. Take an inhale, and then exhale, let it go. Hands come down through heart center. Step back, find your plank. You're always welcome to go straight to dog. Go through a vinyasa, or go to dog, or take a few breaths in child's pose. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Bring the feet together at the back of the mat. We're going to inhale the right leg back behind, and then exhale, come forward, cross that right knee outside the left elbow. Draw the belly in, look down. Now you're going to extend that right leg, flex the foot, come down on that back inner foot, and then you're going to open up, kind of like Vashisthasana. Draw that right shoulder blade in, reach up. Now look down. Left hand comes down. You have a bit of a twist. You're going to go straight into Vashisthasana. You're welcome to put that left knee down, but you're going to draw that right foot back. Come around, knee down or straight legs, Vashisthasana. And then we're going to lift that right leg, bend the right knee, set the toes back. Just find a gentle, wild thing. So you're just letting the hips come up, opening the heart, reaching back to that right hand. Now go slowly. Can you come back to Vashisthasana with the leg up? Can you look down, come into your one-legged plank? Come forward, halfway down, one-legged chaturanga, then bring the foot down and go through your vinyasa. Or you can skip all of that and do something that feels better for your body. We're just playing. Downward facing dog. And then bring the feet together at the back of the mat. Inhale the left leg. And then exhale, left knee outside right elbow. Stay here for a breath. Draw the belly in. Now you're going to extend the left leg, flex the foot, inner back, right foot comes down. Open up. Long body. Open the chest. Now bring that right hand down. You're in a twist. You're looking down. Use your core. That right knee can come down, or you're just going to come straight back into your Vashisthasana side plank. Lift that top leg. Bend the knee. Just bring the ball of the foot down. Externally rotate that right shoulder. And just see what's right here. Gentle, wild thing. Open it up, breathe. Okay, here's a tricky transition. Can you slowly come back to your Vashisthasana with the leg up? You can bring the leg down or play with coming to plank with the leg up. You can bring the leg down or shift forward, play with one-legged chaturanga, then bring that foot down, cobra or upward facing dog. Lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Find your breath. Land right here. And then next, exhale, bend the knees, look forward, step or lightly hop to the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Exhale, hands come down to heart center. Tadasana. Really nice. Okay, continuing on our journey, we're going to face the long way on the mat. Let's have a block at either end or a block-like object in case you need it. And let's have the strap within reach. How's that sound? And then we'll come to the center of the mat, feet together, find our Tadasana. And then we're going to spread the stance wide so the ankles are right under the wrists. Draw the tailbone down. And then we're going to open that right foot parallel with the side of the mat. Turn the back foot in slightly, just a little bit. And you want to line up that front heel with the back arch or heel to heel. Take an inhale. And then on an exhale, slowly come down. Just finding your way into Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. So we're places to check. Can you see that right big toe inside the knee? Really bending down so the knee's right over the ankle. As you press the back foot, can you feel both the inner edge and the outer edge? Can you roll these left ribs back so your torso square with the side, but then look over your front fingertips? Can you sink a little deeper as you stay, continuing to draw the tailbone underneath? Can you relax the shoulders? And can you settle in for just a few more breaths? And in the middle of whatever fire might be here, can you find some ease right in the center? Just a place to rest. Beautiful. And then you're going to slowly straighten the front leg. Make a choice about the length of your stance for Trikonasana. Keep it long or shorten it. And then let the hips go back. Let them really go back. Let this right hip drop down. Go as far as you can. And then you're just going to bring that right hand down. So this is where you might use that block we've set up, or you can use your shin or an ankle. Can you press into all four corners of both feet? Really straighten that front leg. Draw the kneecap up, but don't overextend the back of the knee. And then notice if these left ribs are coming up. Can you lengthen the sides of the body equally? Staying here, but then internally rotating that top arm, reaching around, playing again with our bind. So you might find some shirt, you might find some inner thigh. Some of you, if you want to add the bottom arm, one more breath. Open up the arms, slowly press back up. And then we're going to turn this foot in, and we're just going to go straight to the other side. So go ahead, turn the left foot out, turn the back toes in, line them up, get your hips even. Take an inhale here, and then exhale, slowly come down, finding your way into Warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2. Again, check that big toe on the left foot. Check the seal of the foot, the front and the back side on the back foot. Draw the tailbone under, relax the shoulders. The weight's in that left heel. Maybe sink a little deeper as you stay. Maybe even a little deeper. Okay, some breaths to enjoy the tapas, right? Roll these right ribs back. Reach the arms evenly. Stay and breathe. One more breath. And we're going to straighten that front leg. Make a choice about the length of your stance. Both legs straight, just let the hips go back. Let this left hip dive down. Go as far as you can, some softness in this front knee, and then you just dial open the hands. The hips are already where they're gonna be. Use your block. The way to tell where that bottom hand needs to be is you want your hips, your shoulders stacked. So if this top hip starts to come forward, that hand's too low. We need to come up. Open the heart. Reach up. Breathe. Some support under that head. Again, can you draw these right ribs down and then internally rotate that top shoulder, reach around, play with finding a vine. Right now we've really got the shoulder stacked. Draw your tailbone long, stay right here, or reach that bottom arm. Just see what's right here, drawing the tailbone, softest in that front knee. All the angles and nooks and crannies. One more breath. Bring that hand down if you've got it up. Extend your top arm. Slowly press up. Let's turn the feet so they're parallel. Bring them in about a third of the distance. So nice and parallel. Inhale to find length. Lift the heart. And on an exhale, hinging at the hips, slowly start to come forward with a flat back. You can bring your hands down under your shoulders. You can bring them on blocks. You might start to fold in. You might start to walk the hands back so the wrists are right under the bent elbows. Crown of the head aiming down. Stay right here. Or if some of you want to lift the hands, reach around behind the lower back. Interlace the fingers, press the palms together if you can. Shrug the shoulders on the back, bent elbows towards each other. Then you play with extending the arms, reaching them up and over without sacrificing the length in the spine. One more breath wherever you are. And then let's all bring our hands to our hips, elbows in. You can put a slight bend in your legs, but can you slowly come up all the way with a straight back? All the way, really nice. And then let's come to the front of the mat. Let's find our Tadasana mountain pose. Just close your eyes for a moment. Be right here and just observe. Breath, heat, energy, beingness. Blink your eyes open, press the palms into each other. We're just going to slowly start to come down, little squat, hugging the inner thighs together. Take a breath here, and then we're going to go ahead and have a seat. So let's have a block nearby. We're just going to play with a little bit of back bending because we've opened everything we need to get into a nice bridge or maybe even to play with a wheel. So let's come on down on the back. Walk your feet in. Feet are hip distance and parallel, maybe an inch or two away from the tush. So lift the toes, find all four corners of each foot. Bring your hands by your sides. And then slowly pressing the inner foot like you're standing on your feet to lift the pelvis. And then today, let's just take our elbows down by the side, press the elbows down to draw the shoulder blades underneath. So you can lift the pelvis from the feet, keep the knees parallel, and you can help lift from behind the heart by pressing the elbows down. And you can stay here with your arms like this, or you might reach underneath, interlace, really draw the shoulders underneath, press the palms together. And just take some nice deep breaths in your bridge pose. Letting the inner thighs drape down. The tailbone stays long. We're aiming the tailbone towards the back of our knees. Lifting from behind the heart. Take one more breath here. Then just move the hands to the side if you have them underneath you. Slowly come down. Keep the feet planted. Just take a breath or two right here in constructive rest. Notice how the body feels after that first sweet back bend. Okay, so here are some choices. And really, you can do anything you want. But suggestions would be to go right back up into that same bridge if you want another one of those. Another suggestion would be to take the block at any height as you come into your bridge, place it right onto your sacrum, And you can make this a restorative bridge rather than an active bridge. Or some of you, since we've done all the work, if you want to play with coming up once into your Urdhva Dhanurasana, we'll do that. So come up into bridge if you're going into bridge. If you're trying Urdhva, you're going to flip your palms over so the fingertips face towards the shoulders, flat palms. Elbows come in. Press the palms down. Press through the feet. First, I'm just going to lift the pelvis. Keep the palms pressing down. Keep the shoulders in. Now, this is a big transition. I'm just going to come to the top of my head so I can readjust my hands, get the elbows in, and I can start to move my chest in the front, towards the front of me. And I'm going to keep pressing my chest that way as I press up and come up in my Urdhva Dhanurasana wheel. So you want to press the inner hands. You want to stand on the whole foot. You want to keep the elbows coming in. And then if you're up, you just want to play with finding steadiness, straight arms. Let the inner thighs drape down. They're not opening. The knees aren't opening. Wherever you are, be right there and breathe. If you're in bridge, stay another breath. If you're in Urdhva, you're going to start to untuck the head, bend the elbows, and the tops of the shoulders are the first things that come down. Then bring your hips down. If you're in bridge, slowly bring your hips down. And let's just take a moment here in constructive rest. Just observe. Find your breath. Notice any sensation. And then we're just going to extend the legs long, flex the feet. We're going to take our palms. We're going to place them a little bit under the sides of our tush. So press the heels down, bend the knees, and get your hands under the sides of the tush. Draw the elbows in. Bend them and draw them in. I've already got them underneath me, so my heart's already lifting a little bit. You're going to press the hands down, the elbows down, lift the heart, maybe come to the top of the back of the head. Matsyasana fish. Open the throat. Draw the shoulder blades together on the back. Reach the feet. One more breath. And then slowly lift the head, untuck, come back. Take the hands out from the sides. Lie here for a moment. Again, noticing. And then we're just going to bend the knees, feet flat. Reach the arms out to the side. Take an inhale here. And on an exhale, just let both knees gently fall to the right. Just the outer right foot, the inner left. Stay right here, or you might reach the arms overhead. Find a wrist. Oh, give yourself a stretch, especially through that left side body, drawing the hands away from the hips. If you're stretching, reach the arms right back out to the side. Slowly, knees come back up to center. Take an inhale here. Exhale, letting the knees come over to the left. So outer left foot, inner right. It's just a gentle, slight twist, a little bit of spaciousness for the sacrum. Stay here or find the other wrist as you reach up above. Find length between the ribs, above the hip, the side body. If you're stretching, bring the arms back to the side. Slowly bring the knees up to center. If you want, go ahead, you can hug the knees in now. Just give yourself a gentle squeeze. And then if you'd find your strap, sorry, I didn't have us bring it with us coming down, but let's find the strap. Both feet are bent. We're just going to create a little bit of spaciousness for our sacrum. So if you'd extend the right leg up, take the strap and place it today so it's between the heel and the arch, a little lower than usual. And then we're going to slowly start to extend that right leg straight up with the foot flex. We're not bringing it forward now because we're not worrying about the hamstring. We're really trying to create spaciousness for the sacrum straight up. You can keep that left leg bent or you can straighten it. Can you reach through the inner and the outer right foot evenly? Lift up as you draw the head of the femur down in the right hip socket. As you press your right hip down and away towards the opposite heel. So you're really sending that right sit bone away from your head. Keep the natural curve in your back. Breathe. And then let's bring both straps in the left hand. Take our right thumb and press it down in that right hip crease. Keep the natural curve of your back so it's not overly arched. It's not pressing the sacrum down. Keep that. Keep your left toes pointing straight up, and we're just going to go an inch or two across with the right leg. We're looking for the piriformis. And if we don't quite get the piriformis, we're still going to do a little bit of space making there through the sacrum. And just take some breaths. Keep those left toes up. Keep that right hip drawing down. One more breath. Then slowly bring the leg back up. Release the strap. Bend the right leg. Bend the left. Just land here in the center for a moment. And then we're going to take the strap around the right foot between the heel and the arch. Straighten that left leg straight up. You can keep the right leg bent or go ahead and straighten the right leg as well. And now see if you can reach up through the inner and the outer side of the left foot. Really straighten that leg. Straighten the back of the knee, but then draw the head of the femur down into that left hip socket and keep sending this left hip long. So down towards the opposite heel. You've got that natural curve in your lower back. That's what's going to create the traction for the sacrum. Shoulders relax down. And then we're going to take both bits of the strap in the right hand. Take your left thumb. Gently press that left hip down, away from the head. Hold it there. Hold your right toes up. Woo. This is tapas for me. Gently cross. And just see if you can find some tightness somewhere in that left hip joint or around the back of the sacrum. You may or may not feel much, but it's usually good for all of us. Breathe. One more breath. And then slowly bring that leg back up. Release the strap, bend the left, bend the right. Take a moment here in constructive rest. And one of our blocks. Again, we're going to slide it the low, long way, right underneath the sacrum. Arms out to the sides. Draw the shoulder blades underneath the back of your heart. No tension in the neck. Natural curve in the lower back. Maybe lift the knees if you feel stable there. Maybe lift the legs. Maybe close the eyes. And just land right inside of yourself. Right here. In this moment. Riding the breath. Allowing the back of the skull to be heavy down into the earth. The back of the shoulders heavy down into the earth. The weight of the sacrum resting deeply into the block. Face soft. Throat soft. See if you can let your face go slack, right? Letting go of any social expression. Just emptying out. And staying inside, bending one knee and then the other. Bringing one foot down and then the other. Pressing the feet just enough to lift the hips, slide the block out. The sacrum comes down. Arriving again. And then setting up for your final pose. However that's going to look. So classical is legs long, feet are hips distance, and the feet fall open a little bit. And what I would say after a back bending practice, you can see how you feel, but it's really nice to have a little something behind the knees because it's going to release the pressure behind the lower back. So if you're going for legs long, if you have something, a towel, a blanket, you could even use your 2 blocks behind the knees. Let the feet flop open. And then press the back of the head down slightly to draw the shoulder blades in just a little bit behind the upper middle back, behind the heart. There's some external rotation right in the arms. So as we reach out, our palms are up. If you want to place something behind the head, if you want to cover yourself, close the eyes, maybe even cover the eyes. And just let yourself land right here, earth supporting your weight. Nothing more to do, no more effort. Any last wiggle, and then letting go into stillness. Shavasana. And slowly taking your time, coming back into the body, maybe finding a deeper breath. When you're ready, some small movement, wiggling fingers or toes, stretching your face, maybe reaching the arms overhead, finding a stretch. And then as you're ready, bending the knees in, reaching the right arm out overhead, and just let the knees gently roll to the right side, resting your head in your right bicep, pausing there for a moment, staying inside. And then as you're ready, pressing the left palm down, slowly pressing yourself up, allow the head to be the last thing to come up and just finding a gentle seat. And just taking a few breaths right here. And then slowly lifting the hands, drawing the palms together, moving them into the heart. Namaste. Thank you. Be well.